We've made it to Friday, and it's weather for Weather Geeks time. Another morning edition of this video today. Mike Joyce will have you covered on the TV side this evening at 6 and 11. He'll also be in this weekend, updating you on not only the weekend forecast, but what may transpire as we head into next week. We'll talk about next week on this video in just a second. The radar a little deceiving this morning as I record this at about 8 to 12 a.m. Most of this is not reaching the ground in western and central Ohio just yet. But snow is going to continue to streak east ahead of this frontal boundary that is going to kind of park across the region this afternoon. You can easily pick out where the front is. Look at the temperature change on either side of the front. We're on the warm side right now, lower 30s. Feels pretty nice out there, but notice it's down in the teens and single digits and 20s around Chicago and up into parts of Michigan as well. But this front's going to stall, and with it lollygagging nearby, these little waves of moisture will ride along it this afternoon, tonight, first thing tomorrow morning, and then the front's going to lift back north as a warm front tomorrow afternoon. But keeping with the real short term here, let me take off the current information, the current temperatures, that is. Again, it's a lot warmer. It's as much as 25 degrees warmer this morning than at the same time yesterday. Put on the pressure analysis here and pick out a few features. We've got low pressure forming out here across the Rockies. Here's our front, kind of like right in through here, and there's a high pressure zone down over the southeast. North of the front, an area of high pressure over Minneapolis this morning. So there's lots going on the playing field today. Lots of moving parts. This front will be the main player for our weather in the near term, though. I'll show you, hopefully, if my computer model behaves itself this morning, what the radar should look like as we head into this afternoon. We've got, again, a little bit of snow heading our way, but it's going to be very, very little. We may see some fresh coatings out of this. I'm going to, I'm going to zoom back in here. We'll start things off with this morning, and the snow is so light this morning the computer model is not even picking up on it. So this afternoon, here we are stopping the clock at 1 p.m. A little bit of green showing up here, so you're going to see some snowflakes this afternoon, but again, roads should just be wet. We're close to freezing. The snow is going to be very light. 7 o'clock this evening, again, not much to be found here, but a tiny little bit of snow around. Middle of the night tonight. Now, this is when, as temperatures drop below freezing, and of course the sun's not up, it's the middle of the night, that as this next band pushes in, we could start to see some coatings, half an inch. This is midnight, and beyond midnight, here we are at 4 in the morning. And this is when, if you happen to be out at the unreasonable hour of 4 a.m. on a Saturday, you might find some slick travel, especially side roads, parking lots, sidewalks, that sort of a thing. So the only real trouble spot I can pick out as far as snow leading to some slowdowns on the roads will be wee hours of tomorrow morning, maybe up to around sunrise or so. But then as the warm air starts filtering in from the south, anything that falls tomorrow afternoon is going to be in the form of rain, and there won't even be much of that. I think most of the rain's tomorrow evening after sunset. Between, say, noon and 5 tomorrow, it shouldn't be bad out at all. It'll get into the lower 40s, and it's not going to do much in terms of shower activity. Let's talk about the weekend. Saturday evening, here we're going to stop things at 7 p.m., and the steadiest of the rain still off to our west at this point. Sure, there could be a shower around, but I think most of the rain's coming from, say, 8 or 9 p.m. up and through about 5 in the morning on Sunday morning. Then at the last minute, as the cold air wraps in from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Sunday morning, there could be a little wet snow trying to mix in on the back side of this. Might coat the ground in a few spots, but I doubt it does much more than that. Beyond that, the rest of Sunday looks tranquil. Sunday night as well. Super Bowl weather's looking fine. This next little system riding through the south will be a miss for us. This is Monday morning. Could be some snow. West Virginia, south central Pennsylvania with this. I think this is a miss to the south and east for us here in the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. Bigger deal for us is, of course, coming later Tuesday into Wednesday. Now, not much has changed as far as our thinking since yesterday on this. The system that eventually becomes our big system in the east, I'm going to show you where it is right now, because it's still over the Pacific Ocean, and that means it's not on the playing field just yet, and that means the models are not likely to be handling this super well just yet. Here's our midweek system right now, clear out here over the Pacific. Once it gets on land, and I'll fast forward this to the weekend coming up here. This is Saturday morning. our system finally coming on to land, the computer models will be able to sample it better and then get a better handle as to the exact track as this ejects out of the southwest and comes east. That's going to happen over the weekend. So again, the information we're going to look at today is the models are in pretty good agreement, but they may still be wrong because this system's still out over the Pacific, so we're not prone to trust them a whole lot. Our confidence might be a little higher than average because the models are agreeing for the most part. But still, we don't want to trust them completely yet until we get a couple more days under our belt. Nonetheless, here's Tuesday evening. Low pressure over the Ohio Valley. There's going to be a warm front lifting north, and there's going to be what we call warm advection precipitation occurring ahead of this. That's where warm air is gliding up and over cold air. Warm air is less dense than cold air, so it has to go up and over it because it's lighter, and as that air rises, clouds and precipitation form. Warm advection is what we call it. And this will be snow, the warm advection precipitation, Tuesday evening. And if we're going to get a big dumping of snow, it's likely to be Tuesday evening with that warm advection before the warm front gets too far to the north. So between, say, 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. Tuesday evening, we could get 3, 4, 5 inches of snow out of this. I'm just, again, just speculating. But that's when we could get our heaviest snow. And then after that, our concern is going to become, let me get back over here, our concern is going to become mixed precipitation, just depending on where the low tracks. We're looking at the Canadian model here, 1 in the morning on Wednesday. The low is almost right over Youngstown. That's the Canadian. Here's the... This is the European model. It has the low just a little farther south, and then here's the GFS even farther south than that. The farther south the low tracks, the less warm air will get involved in this. So this is going to be a real tricky forecast as we head through time. The farther north the warm air gets, especially the warm air a few thousand feet up in the atmosphere, the more sleet we're going to see, the more freezing rain we could see, and the less snow we're going to see. If this system were to somehow stay all snow, this could be a pretty big one of our bigger ones of the winter. Right now, I don't think odds favor that, though. I think odds favor a good dump of snow at the start, and then a transition from snow over to some kind of mixed bag. So lots of details to be ironed out here. All right, going to show you this just, again, because this isn't our forecast, but just want to show you what's kind of towards the top end of possibilities. Here's the European computer model total snowfall for that period, Tuesday evening through Wednesday evening. And despite the European hinting that there's going to be some mixing going on, it still gives us about 8.5 inches of snow. Now, the one thing we have to be careful of when looking at these maps is sleet and freezing rain is counted on the model in this graphical form as snow. So this can be real deceiving. There may be sleet and freezing rain that gets all the way up here, but the model still plops it onto the snow map. So what, instead of 8.5 inches of snow, what this model might actually be seeing is 5 or 6 inches of snow, followed by a period of mixed precipitation. We just don't know the details on this just yet. But I think at the high end of range of possibilities, if this were to stay 90% snow, the high end's going to be up there, 8, 9, 10 inches. I don't think that's the most likely thing to happen at this point, but that's on the table still. That's the European, what we call deterministic model. Then the ensemble models, and if you're a regular viewer of these videos or follow me on social media, every now and then I refer to the ensembles as giving us a range of overall possibilities of what the model is seeing. The ensemble is the green bar here, the green bars. The deterministic, which I just showed you, is the blue areas. Notice the ensemble model has a lower snowfall total out of this, suggesting that it is seeing that possibility. In fact, probably a pretty good possibility that we're going to get some mixed precipitation. So, bottom line is not much has changed in our thinking from yesterday. We're still looking at probably enough snow to shovel and plow. The exact numbers, though, we're far from being able to say that. It could be as little as a few, could be as much as, maybe 8, 9, 10, with a lot of wiggle room in between, just depending on what type of precipitation we see Tuesday during the overnight. All right, enough with the storm. Here's a look at the long-range temperatures taking us through the 7th to the 14th, so the second full week of February. Still looks pretty cold. The heart of the cold, the worst of it's going to be out here, but still, nonetheless, Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, averaging at least a few degrees below normal for that second week of February. So unfortunately, winter's grip not letting up on us just yet. I don't see the kind of harsh cold that we've seen recently coming. I don't see a lot of below zero nights coming anytime soon, but still, this is a cold pattern that's going to take us at least through the middle of February. All right, that's weather for Weather Geeks on this Friday. Thanks for sticking with me. I know I ran a little long today. Mike Joyce has you covered all weekend. If something dramatic happens on the models and I feel the need to chime in with some changes to our midweek thinking, I'll be posting this weekend. Otherwise, I hope to kind of unplug for Super Bowl weekend and, kind of relax a little bit. It's been a long time. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.